song. It said, before you can be a revolutionary, you got to revolutionary your diet. When I first read that in that book years ago, it blew me away. Because I was thinking then, like, guns, radical type behavior, but that just blew me completely away. So that made it right for sure how important the diet actually is. And if you ever get the chance to look at that African Holistic Health is right at the beginning of the book when he talks about that.
Is that the Ford?
Yeah, it's at the very beginning. It's written by him, but it's at the beginning, like at the beginning when you read the book, when you first start out.
Right.
Yeah, but it's classic that he put that in there, and I noticed that a lot of people kind of miss that detail. But we on that now, so it's classic. Very important.
And it's funny you say that because I was reading I was on the Herb site a week ago, and he was talking about diet. He was saying, it tripped him out the first time he saw a Black Panther on stage. They were up there doing the thing, and they all had cigarettes in their mouth or in their hand. And he's like, how can you be revolutionary and you walking around smoking their chemicals, the phallic symbol of the cigarette, everything, not only what it physically does to you, but the spiritual meaning of it. How can you do that and not have people thinking you're a walking contradiction? So, I feel that.
I mean, I don't know.
The main thing that I saw on this, was saying that, look at what y'all been eating. Look at all the food. Look at, like, the first thing is white sugar, man. I mean, everybody here do Kool-Aid. Everybody here drink Kool-Aid. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, that white sugar right there is a chemical. And that's like the most, if you got anything in your house, it's probably some sugar. If you ain't got anything else, I mean, in most cases. But I'm saying, in most people's house, they might not have any food, but they got some sugar in there, man. You got some sugar water, and they'll make some sugar water, or they get some Kool-Aid, they get some lemons. They'll do something, but they got sugar. That's one of the main staples in the house. Then they eat white bread. They got white flour,
Which is more sugar.
which is more a different form of the same thing. You see what I'm saying? But it's the same. Like we haven't really thought about, the food, the psychological effects that it has, the cultural that it's really from another culture, and we really are imitating it and facilitating that stuff.
One of the books that I was reading was saying that white flour is the ruin of civilization. Ruin. Yeah, of our civilization.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
White flour and white sugar.
Well,
That's the way they won a war was they ran out of food, or they started implementing their food into their population. It's just like China, you broke China down. China, how is it like you said? They selling them soybeans to Japan and China, and that's where soy come from. How is it that the Europeans are selling it back to them? That's
because they've introduced it as a food product.
Well, they introduced it as a food product, but they've taken it and put it into a commercialized form, and then repackaged it, and then sold it back to them. And say, look what we have. We got this product, and the only way you can make it is if you got this particular type of machine and this particular type of processing, then you can do it. Otherwise, you spinning your wheels. You can't even get this kind of food. You can only get it through this big machine that we got here, that we created. So now they gave up their natural resources to eat some food from somewhere else, an outside source. And they even eat it. The true elite. Are not eating that stuff.
And we wonder why our children are sick, habitually sick.
Right.
Fruit Loops, Cheerios, sugar frosted flakes.
Eating cow's milk.
And then, cow's milk. And then, it was like, well, it says it's been fortified or enriched.
Right.
And then cows sitting over here with fevers and all this kind of stuff, asthma and things of this thing. But the immune system don't get a chance to start. The immune system is on, in y'all's, so to speak, y'all's vernacular,
It's on the down low.
Well, they started that with
Similac.
Yeah, Similac. They gotta do Similac.
Yeah.
Don't breastfeed.
So you don't breastfeed, so you can't stimulate your immune system.
Yeah.
Off the rip. So I mean, they come in the world.
Yeah.
They sterilize them, shoot them with other stuff, and then put them on.
And if you look at things from a demonic standpoint, you get ready to go into Kroger's, and you checking out the word grocery. If you break that down from a demonic standpoint, it says gross sorcery. It's a means of deception from a, as when you're dealing with Satan, or as we call it, the mark of the beast, it's gentle, like a gentle breeze. You don't know what's happening, but it's going on.
Right.
So what's Similac? Similac is a byproduct of cow's milk.
Yeah, basically it's
Well, they call it Similac because it lack everything.
right, but it's a powder form for milk, but it's been watered down and chemicalized, but its basis is
I'm wondering, I don't have any kids, but I'm wondering Similac,
Right.
because it sounds like it's a byproduct of cow's milk.
But
it is.
Look at our positive.
We don't know whose milk it is, actually.
Look at the
True.
term. Similac, Similac. There's only a couple letters different. You could say semi-lac. That would mean it's not all. So it's not whole no matter how you look at it. Now, when you add the little deep dark secrets, then you have to when you feed that toxic stuff to a mass of people, you're going to disrupt that society and civilization ultimately. So that gets back to those people working in those dark places, such as Tavistock and others. You had mentioned about being breastfed that stimulates the immune system. How so? Does it stimulate? What are some of the benefits of having your child breastfed? The natural process, and we're talking about something passing from the mother to the child. There is no more natural food for an infant than mother's milk. You can't give an infant other things. So that'll benefit him in the long run. The long and the short period.
They've done studies where they've shown the IQ is, significantly higher in children that have been breastfed compared to children that were put on formula.
I can give you an example for my children. I breastfed all three of my children, and I mean, even now they all make honors. My child started preschool when she was 3 and went to kindergarten. So here she's getting ready to graduate from kindergarten at the age of 4, and she's ahead of her class, even at the age of 4. So, I mean, it makes a huge difference as I see my children's friends who are struggling to learn versus my children who I just simply breastfed them, and they have a natural God-given smartness that was already there, even from me, from my mother, from the ancestors. So it's a great benefit.
Teach.
The mother's milk helps the neurotransmitters, ability to reason or figure out stuff, versus Similac or piggyback off what the brother saying. If you break it down, it's really saying semen is lacking. You have no genetic connection to nothing. Period. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, that's why that's why all those formulas, enrich. But if it's rich already, why do they have to enrich it? Adding vitamin D, vitamin A, and all these vitamins that they are putting in there that you can't assimilate anyway, because those vitamins are dead. Vitamins are dead. They're not alive.